Ladies, would you like to come up to the stage? Thank you, Neil. We're going to start Blues in the Night. This is a show that I'm going to be working through. It's a workshop production. While we've been working on it for months, people have been joining through the trip, the journey, and it's been developing, and it's yet to develop. We've got the next stage to develop as well. But we wanted to do it at this point where we're at now. Just so you know, Blues in the Night is a musical that's from the 1930s. You'll know much of the music, it's very well known. And the group listened to this music and we loved it. And how we developed the piece was they listened to the tracks from the words and then they wrote letters in response to the text that they were hearing. Does that make sense? So you will get the emotion from the response to the music that they heard, the songs that they heard. They are not reading their own texts, they're reading each other's, which gives a whole other level. So they're performing other people's texts, but just so you know, they've written it all, and they've also devised an inordinate amount of it. If you want to sit at the front, do, because you get a better view, but you're fine where you are. So I will be prompting through this, just so you know, because it's not a finished piece. So without further ado, let's have the Supertroupers, Blues in the Night.
Bottle again? You've got no money. Well, that's just about all we've got. Yeah. I got four walls, one dirty window blues. I got the balls, one dirty window blues. If I'd saved my money when I was young and doing well, I wouldn't be here singing in this cheap hotel. I got the four walls, one dirty window blues.
I got a date with a dream divine. I got a date with a dream who may be mine. I gotta hurry and dress to meet him at 7. But any old corner becomes a corner of heaven, blue heaven. I'm gonna dance with a dream, we'll dance on it. I'm gonna speak with a dream until my head. And when the evening is over, I'll kiss him goodnight and then I'll have a date with a dream and meet him all over again. My hair's just like my wallet, ain't nothing left but memories. I said my hair's just like my wallet, ain't nothing left but memories. Listen, y'all, I was once a man so-and-so, everybody knew my name. But now my life has got so low, they even pay for shame. My hair's just like my wallet, nothing left but memories.
Well, I sit and drink and think and the days go by. Well, sit and drink and think and the days go by. Yeah, like when I was young and riding high, I pulled myself together, I'll give it one more try. But I sit here drinking, thinking of days go by. One dirty window blues.
I'll take you a good time.
One dirty window blues.
Just take you a good time.
I saved my money when I was young and
I got a dream.
you singing in this cheap hotel. I got the
Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. Down at the end of Lonely Street, it's a Heartbreak Hotel. I'll tell you, my baby left me. My my baby, he left me. I feel so lonesome, I could die.
Dear Jack, can you buck up your love life? I have been reading this sexy book. Thank you. I was surprised to find you looking magnificently standing there in my see-through night dress. Not completely correct, but boy, what a boogie ride we had that night.
My dear Mr. R, it's been a good 4 weeks now since I last heard from you. I've heard nothing and I'm puzzled by your silence. There's been no response to my texts or my emails, and when I ring your phone, you'll go straight to voicemail, but you haven't rung me back. I know sometimes your work drives you crazy and that it's important to you, but what about your philosophy of work hard and then play hard? Isn't it time we went out to play? I can't imagine you be seeing somebody else behind my back. Darling, wherever would you find the time? Well, I suppose my love for you has blinded me to the fact that we're over, and that you've taken the coward's way out of simply not contacting me.
Dear Mandy, Theo collected me from the nurses' home about 1:30 p.m. We spent the afternoon shopping in Wellingborough, having lunch and holding hands. As dusk drew in, we decided we did not want to leave each other, so we spent the night in his car on a hill in Findon. The rain fell, the wind blew, we wrapped ourselves in the one blanket, but love was in the air. Oh, what a night. Glad the car never went down the hill.
There, Gladys. Remember how we used to go around together, always in trouble? I wish you were here in London with me. Today was a hellish day. Everything went wrong. This afternoon, I have decided that I had enough. I can't take no more. I left the office to go home, and you know how windy it is near my office? Well, the traffic was at a standstill, and guess what happened? My afro fell off, and I just chased down the road.
Dear Patsy, it was a long way down to the bottom. It was bumpy, jagged and rough, and dark and wet and cold. I was lied to. I was the last to know. And I was kept in the dark. It all went very quickly, but it happened in slow motion. And when I hit the bottom, it hurt. It hurt for a very long time. And I just lay there for what seemed forever. It hurt.
Once of a millionaire, spending my money, I didn't care, taking my friends out for a
I feel trapped and angry. For years, I've never been able to tell you what I really want, how I really feel. I've always tried to be a good daughter, doing what you expect, not saying anything. But you don't know the real me. I've made a decision. It's time I moved out. I know you'll find that impossible to accept, so I've got plans already in place.
Didn't have no money, no place to go. If I ever get my hands on a dollar,
the Rivoli, they did ballroom dancing there, and this time, when we finally got there, 2 men were there waiting for 2 ladies to walk in with them. Mine was Barry and Jean's Frank. Oh boy, Barry was tall and handsome. He asked me if I would like a drink. I told him I don't drink. He was disappointed. We danced the night away. When we all finished and looked around, Jean disappeared. Suddenly I remembered what my dad told me. Never go off with strangers. A minute later he said, would you like to come with me, or I'll take you home? Oh dear, I couldn't take him home, and all I could hear were my dad's words. Don't go with strangers. I was shaking like a leaf. I said to him that I needed to get something at the shop. I gave him a peck on his cheek, walked to my car, and went straight home.
I want you to know that I'm not sorry you came into my life, and the relationship we had has taught me a lot about myself. I remember the day I heard you say the words, I love you. You don't know the meaning of the word love, but at the time I believed your lies and put up with whatever you put through me. Today, as I look at myself, I have learned what love is and what it means to me. I don't want you in my life any longer, so goodbye, my darling. I am grateful to you as I learned a lot by your lies. Bye-bye.
To the young man I had my first crush on. I know you fancied me because you waved at me to come near you. But I was so bloody scared. If Mum found out, she'd kill me. I let fear get in the way. I wanted to come near you, but I was scared. What a bloody waste of time. You were my first crush. I used to go up to the mountain and watch you painting the school. I was like a lovesick puppy. So now you know how I felt. I wish I knew your name.
If I ever get my hands on $1 again, then I'll meet my long lost friend. It's mighty strange without a doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down.
Dear Helen, here I am in Bridgetown. Friday night and not a lot happening. So I rang Patrick up, suggested he collects me, and we go to Oyston Town. Music, calypso tunes, golden oldies near the beach. He collects me not in his buggy, but in his 4x4, and off we go. My illusions are running well, because he's 20 years younger. Oh my goodness, say no more.
Dear Dad, sorry you had to chastise me last week for going to the cinema with Norma to see Bill Haley and the Comets. To tell you the truth, the punishment of staying in for a week was well worth it, because it was fantastic. I had a great time. The music, oh God, so good. But probably shouldn't tell you this. I danced in the aisles all the way through. Great fun. Anyway, do you know what? I think this is a sign of things to come. So you better get used to it, Daddy.
Dear Diana, I'm working at St Christopher's Hospice. There's this man, and he said he'd like to kiss me. He's got cancer. And then he said, would I rub his doodah? And I said, that's not on the National Health. and he said, no one would know. And then he grabbed me and held me on the bed. I couldn't get away, and I pressed the call button, but it wasn't answered. And I didn't know what to do. So I decided I would give him the rub that he asked for, and I squeezed him so tight he had to let me go. And I ran back to the office to report him to the nurse, and she said, you are lucky. No one's ever asked me to give him a rub.
I want an extra special kind. And to get the kind of man I want, hell, I know it's going to take some time. He's got to be ambitious. A man who likes to work. Don't want no man who's lazy. A man tries to shirk. I want a two-fisted, double-jointed, rough and ready man. I want a hard-working, no shirking, good and steady man. He can be a backwoods farmer or a digger in a ditch. Hell, he can even drive a garbage wagon, honey. It will make a bit of difference which. I want a two-fisted, double-jointed, rough and ready man. I want a hard-working, no shirking, good and steady man. Now, you know, I don't have to have no fat man, but neither must he be too thin. And you know, I sure as hell don't want some guy who's gotta get all pepped up on gin. I want a two-fisted, double-jointed, rough and ready man. I want a hard-working, no shirking, good and steady man. When he snores, I want the force to knock the pedal of my door. And the breezes from his wheezes to knock my bedclothes to the floor. When I come home some morning all dressed up like Astor's horse, I want him to grab me and tear off all my clothes just to let me know who's home. Dog nor cat, but would drag in a skunk or a lion and say, "Here, play with that." I wanna do this day, double chimes day, rough and ready, man. Is that clear? I wanna rough and ready, rock me steady to this day, double chimes day. Hard working, no shirking, rough and ready, man.
Dear Peggy, just writing to let you know the latest upset with Mum and Dad about the Blue Girl troupe I wanted to audition for. Well, as you can imagine it, Dad went absolutely mad. No. Wouldn't even let me explain what a great opportunity it would be. Mum did try her best, but heart wasn't in it. So the outcome is, I did not go.
Dear Dad, writing this letter to let you know how I feel about Nedjak. My feelings for him are very strong, and I intend to marry him, regardless about how the whole family feels, if it takes me till I'm 21 years old. You are the only one that I can express my feelings to, but I'm very determined, even if you cut me out of your lives. Your mother married outside her faith and country, and stayed till Grandpa's death. So I think coming from a mixed marriage, you will understand. I hope I get your blessing, but if not, you've given me all through my life the strength to go my own way. Your loving daughter always.
Dear Eileen, I was quite young, 14 or 15, and not allowed to go out at night. One of my brothers, and I had 6 of them, used to run the Saturday night dance in our village hall. Of course, I wasn't allowed to go, but one night I managed to get round him. He let me in, but told me I had to behave myself. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I danced every dance. One young man took a bit of a shine to me, you see, and asked to walk me home. Had to be very careful and slipped out on the quiet. Just near my home, just getting ready for a blooming good old snog. There's a voice along the road. Get along that bloody road! Yeah, it was my dad. One of my brothers had grassed up on me.
Dear Irene, I've done it! Last night we had a wonderful evening. End up in his room. Brown eyes, brown skin, his gentleness. We melted, just as I have imagined it for so long. Then the door opened and the old man walked in, and that was that.
Dear Daisy, John has been playing silly buggers for a few weeks now. He has been quite withdrawn and moody. He did not turn up for our date a couple of times last 2 weeks. Then, when we eventually met, I challenged him. He was very sheepish. When I asked him, I eventually found the courage to ask him if there's someone else. He said no. But you know he's such a poor liar. His bottom lip trembled. After some gentle prodding, he eventually admitted that he had met up with this young woman on the nights when he did not turn up for our date. I wish the earth would open up and swallow me. To be seeing someone else is one thing. To be seeing my sister is not acceptable, is it?
Yes, she
To the young man at the 53 bus stop. Listen, boy, I'm old, I'm grey, I'm invisible to you, but I do exist. You think you're somebody strutting up to the bus stop, barging in front of me, pushing my shopper out of the way. I'm not impressed, you silly fucker with your shaved head and your earring. I exist, and I exist before you was born. And I've thoughts you can't even begin to have, and feelings you don't even know about. I'm not invisible.
Amazing grace, how sweet the song that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm fine. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that brought me through the storm. Hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain. Now your hands be toast and find my Lord. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, it made me tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there?
Just as I am, without one plea, and that thy blood was shed for me, and that thou bidst me come to thee, O Lamb of God, I come, I come.
Dear Sally, I woke up this morning deciding to flagrantly flout the rules. I'm going to the pits next to the mound in the playground. You know where it is. I'm going to slip through the fence to see the men working down there. I know the nuns will find out, as someone will tell them. And I know my punishment will be harsh. But today, I do not care. Today, I'm going to live.
Dear Carol, guess what? I've got a job. I know I keep being told women should stay at home and look after the children. Yes, I know he says no, but I don't care. As long as one of us can be here for the children, it can be done. How did I get the job? Well, an advert for Peak Free Factory. Phone them up, call me for an interview. Their bus journey was a bit doubtful, 2 buses, but I'm determined I can do it. It will be a bit of a rush. Hadn't been for an interview for a long time, but it went well and she offered me the job there and then, 6 to 10 in the evening. I said yes. But Carol, guess what? When I got home, the phone went and Sainsbury's were asking me to go for an interview. Shelf stacking. I know it'd be hard work. Told him I had the job at Peak Friends. He is not a happy man. Then I told him I had another interview at Lewisham Sainsbury's. Even less happy. For once I don't really care. It's all extra money. He'll realise it in the end. The interview at Sainsbury's went even better and I got offered a job. 3 days a week, 6 to 10. I didn't tell them I'd just been accepted by Peak Friends. I went home, told him I had accepted the job at Sainsbury's and we were starting next week. Not a happy man. I know, Carol, we've had many chats about women working, but some of us have to buck the trend. We'll let you know later.
Mum, I know you think I'm too young, but I've been to join the Royal Air Force. Dad treats me like a child, but I don't feel like one. I promise I'll take care of myself and I won't let you down.
Dear Fred, do you remember the time we were both doing our hairdressing course at the Morris School of Hairdressing? After our class, you asked me to go to the theatre where you were working with some nights with Keith. I know you fancied me, but I didn't like to tell you I fancied Keith. I didn't want to upset you, so I said yes. I went in the end to see the show with you. You put your arms around my back as we were watching the show. I looked at you as if to say, what do you think you're doing? Then you kissed me. I felt reckless and kissed you back, even though I was married. I didn't care. I felt good.
Dear Irene, I've got to write, I've got to tell you, I'm so spitting. Okay, I can hear you say it. Start at the beginning. Well, you know that Ray, that one I told you about? We went to a show. West Side Story. It was lovely. Dancing, music, it's really lovely. On the way back to the car after the show, we're talking. He starts talking about the next day. What? What's he on about? Don't understand. Then he spits it out. I've got a clean shirt in my bag. What? So I can go straight to work in the morning. What? Bloody cheek. Bloody cheek. They think they're God's gift. Well, he wasn't. And I didn't.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your tears and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so near. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
I don't think he knows that it was a close thing. I didn't get in till after 2 in the morning. I said the car wouldn't start. I think he bought it, but when I got to bed, I couldn't get the thought of the evening out of my head. Oh, to be cherished, abandoned, loved. It was wonderful, and I do hope that didn't show on my face in my sleep. I've never been so naughty in my whole life. Oh, to live like that again.
Dear Octavia, can you believe what happened yesterday? My goodness, he had the audacity to come back like that. The idiot kept grabbing me and trying to kiss me and cuddle me. Oh, he had been down to the club, and you know what they're like down there. How many times am I going to get rid of this man? You know, my sister, I need someone who loves and respects me. Surely I am worth that.
Dear Jackie, amazing, isn't it? No dates for ages, and then 2 guys asked me out within a matter of days. Just like buses, really. One's Ted, known him for quite a while, so we're going out with the crowd. But you know, I just don't fancy him. Not tall enough, a bit skinny, no car, and wears an anorak. But the other one, Paul, oh, it's different. Huh. Looks good, smells good, funny, charming, and very, very sexy. Guess which one I'll be going out with this weekend? Tells me he likes boxing, you know, he can ring my bell.
There, Martha. I must let you in on the latest news. Don't ask questions. You know who. Girl, last Friday night, he left home all dressed in a suit, smelling like blue rose. And that was it. Saturday night, Sunday come, no return. Girl, this was my time. When I came home from work on Monday, the man was in the front room like nothing ever happened, looking for dinner. After a while, he said to me, "What's for dinner?" Girl, you should see me. Man, I rip hell. Oh, hell. The roof started lifting off, and the children, they ran for cover. Girl, he knew the clothes was off the bed, water was all over. By the time I look around, I never see a man. He was going through the door.
Wake me up, Bobby, you was falling me. You run back to the place where you got it. You can't leave a bit of it
of our little medley. Thank you, Michelle. I just want to say, I don't think I said, and I forgot because it's the first time I've done all this, that those letters are true stories. Every single one of them are real experiences, even the doodah one. I guess who it might be. You won't ever guess, I can promise you. So I just want to say a huge thanks for you being here again. Really, it's been amazing. It's lovely having an audience, isn't it? Just doing it. So they are gorgeous. Look at their dresses and everything. They found them themselves, so that's wonderful. I just want to say a few thanks, which is to Michelle, to Sevilla Sybil up there who's on the sound, and to she's been fantastic. And Neil from Greenwich and the Greenwich team have been fantastic. Montage, this is a new partnership, Montage Theatre Arts with Greenwich Theatre, and it's really, really significant and very important for us, for everyone to get the work together, so that EPSP, these people can come and perform in a space as well. That's quite wonderful, professional place. We have no funding, any of this, none of this is funded, so any of donations that you've given tonight go straight to everybody here and their work. So again, thank you for that, because I know we have had some donations. So please spread the word. We've got a summer school here. Is it next week? It's very soon, it's about 10 days, and it's at this theatre, so please, please, please spread the word if you can, because it's very new and people, you know how new things go, you need new people to hear about it, so do spread the word. And shall we just give them another clap? Up close, everyone, come and have a, well, the whole team, come forward, come on and have a bow. So let's thank them. Yes, and come on.